Hello. How's your week been, Houdini? I'm gonna try not to move this canvas so much. Last time I watched it after, it was like all over the place. It was just scooching around. So I'm gonna put this remote to the side and I'm not gonna mess with it. Are you sure we don't work at the same place? Because our devs are having the exact same problem. Because the business keeps changing the requirements on them. And go live is tomorrow. And yeah, they're still making changes to some pretty solidified things, I would say. Like, we finished requirements back in May for some of these items, and they're coming back and they're saying, oh, why are you changing these on us? And I'm just like, it's not me. The rest of the business team. I'm so sorry. I would never do this to you. Do you guys do code freezes, or are you just under poor management like us and just never seem to have a limit? So Houdini, you're in IT, right? Like you're in the depths of the IT. Do you guys have something called app support on your end? Because I'm currently a business analyst, but there might be an opportunity for me to jump to app support, and everyone's saying, "Oh, that's such a step down. Why would you do that?" I think it's a lateral move because it's like it would be a app support engineer, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's such a step down. You won't be a part of the business. You won't have any influence." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't have any influence to begin with." I'm just thinking because my dad was up in arms because he was IT for his whole life. He started off as actually the manager of app support, and then he worked his way up to senior director of IT. And he's like, those guys are assholes. It's such a terrible job. So I'm just asking anyone that I know, Like, am I making the wrong decision? Because I don't really see how my job could get worse than what it is now, but I don't know. Keep all avenues open until artist full time. Yeah, I've been in the same role for 6 years now, and like the salary's been the same. The kind of the general attitude has been the same. But my boss recently retired. I'm not sure if she was kind of forced to do it for this new contract that we have, but she retired kind of abruptly, and everyone expected me to take on her role, which was the manager. And you know, I wouldn't say a vacation. I went to visit my grandparents for a bit, and I came back and they had dissolved the role. So I came back and I was expected to take on all her job responsibilities, but without any pay or anything else that benefits me. So yeah, I was thinking like if I were to go onto that team, then I would only have to work one person's job, and that would leave more resources for drawing. Yeah. The only benefit of my current one is oh, what did I do? I did this all wrong. Delete that. Start over. It's still one of the few that are mostly remote. Because everywhere else is like, come back to work 3 or 4 days a week. And we don't have that yet. We have like, I guess kind of optional days. I should have linked the video directly. I don't know what got into my head and made me not do that. And being full-time employed is made me a little bit stupid. My work building got sold to build condos, so they're looking for a new building because we do have like a server room that has to be relocated. But of course, they don't want to pay like the expensive rent, so I don't know where they would relocate us. But till then, we have like a year, and no one's just going to the office now. I don't know how people work for 45 years and then retire. And the whole like work-life balance is, I don't know, maybe it's just the place where I work, but it just seems kind of non-existent. Let me name these layers. Face. Body. Honestly, it does feel that way because I was trying to find some art classes in my area because I've never taken any art classes. I've always kind of fumbled around, and even now I'm fumbling about to get this character drawn. It's always very intuitive, but I wanted it to be more structured because I don't want to be chaotic. I don't want to be messy. I wish I was organized, and I wish I had standard operating processes for my artwork. So I was looking for like any kind of art classes, a life drawing class, a still life class, or painting, pottery even. Like I'll take anything, you know. I want to have hobbies. And I'm close to 2 or 3 community centers and one dedicated art place. And they're all just doing stuff for senior citizens or children. There's nothing for people who are between the ages of 18 and 65. I used to find more inspiration. Now I just kind of just want to vegetate and melt. So let me find reference. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like if you meet someone who's an adult, like a working adult, and you're introducing yourself, so many people say, "Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm a business systems analyst." You know, we're like, who even are you, Steve? Like that doesn't tell me anything about who you are. It just tells me that you're in the same boat that I am. Yeah, I know a few people that if they didn't have their job, they wouldn't be anybody at all, and it's. I wish they didn't have to be that way. I wish they could find happiness in something other than work, because these same people get burnt out. It's not like they're immune from that. I think the closest university to me is the University of Toronto. That's like an hour and a half commute, unfortunately, with a bunch of subway trains. I used to do that every day when I was a student. But there's loads of other smaller ones downtown there as well. Hello. I thought of one time I thought this insane idea. It was like during COVID time where people were kind of more allowed to have work-life balance because, you know, we all thought the world was ending. And I thought, what if I just drop everything and I just go and register for like art school? Because that's my unfulfilled dream, is to go to an art school. So just dedicating all that time to just drawing and learning. I said, what if I just go, I drop everything and I just go? And then I drop out after like 1 year, 1 semester, because by then I probably run out of cash as well. But then unfortunately, didn't quite have the courage to go through with it. Oh, Chairman Harris. It's good to see you. I'm streaming from my lair in Antarctica. I need to zoom out a little bit. The head is too large and the body is too small.
You probably know this brand for
Oh no!
but did you know we cover everything you need to brand
My music is playing an ad.
that help you stand out and must-have
No, that's embarrassing.
If
And it's unskippable.
put it all with 20% off.
I'm just gonna mute it. I thought someone was talking to me for a sec. That was kind of scary. I still think of like just dropping everything and just doing something completely different, trying to get into an art school, trying to do anything else. But I actually had less responsibilities back then. Back then I didn't have to like worry about keeping a roof over my head because I live with my parents. But now it's no such luck. I guess a lot of people probably feel that way, like I should have done more when I didn't have all these responsibilities. I mean, you could ditch your responsibilities, just like don't pay your bills, don't pay your rent, just don't make any utility payments, don't answer any emails, just ignore the bank, block the bank's number. Well, then that would have consequences. Once you're done with having fun, you have to come back to that mess. Can they jail you for not paying your bills? This is a bit much. I know in some Asian countries, being bankrupt is a jailable crime. But that doesn't even make sense. How am I supposed to pay back everything I own if I'm in prison and I'm not earning money in prison? Or if I am, I'm making like $1 or $2 to buy the prison snacks. Just like being poor is a crime. Oh, another reason why being poor is a crime, because you ever see those things that are not really crimes, but they will charge you money if you do it? So like an example is this grocery store near me is just filled with little birds, and everyone is feeding them. So they put up a sign saying fine for feeding birds $500. And I'm just thinking, well, that's just a punishment for poor people like me. Like, if I was rich enough to not care about $500, I could keep feeding these birds, and every time someone came after me, I'd just throw $500 bills at them and just be done with it. Yeah, fines. Punishment for poor people. I guess bylaws to an extent as well. Bylaws like where I am, $5,000 fine if you water your grass, your lawn, on a day that is not every other day. So if your home number starts with an even number, it's on even number days, and odd numbers get the odd number days. If you have an even number house and you water on like the first or the third, and someone snitches on you, then you could be fined $5,000. Yeah, so you ended up with this year was especially bad because it was so hot. Everyone's lawns dried out, so we've got like these crusty looking lawns, and we can't water them because not only are we afraid to get this fine, we're also afraid that our neighbors will be the one to snitch on us. The only thing that could be worse is if they say like, if you snitch on your neighbor, I'll give you money. So that'd just be the worst. What part of Antarctica is getting hot? The hot part, of course. I'm trying to think of what other equally silly things I've encountered, other than the lawn watering fines. I think there's also there's a time, I think it was last year, that the mayors and premiers here, they were like, please don't poop on beaches. Because apparently people were pooping on the beaches instead of going to the washroom, and some of them would bury it and some of them wouldn't. There's just these insane things that seem like too weird to be true, but they are true. You can't make it up. Yeah, that's true. There's always people, someone's always got to do it first, and then they kind of ruin it for the rest of us. So this commission drawing is, I started with a female, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do in between yet, because just got off of work, my brain's still fried, but this is basically, I'll show you. It is from the Surprise Commission. It's part of this that I did the other day. This is the one on the right. And the character is just getting a makeover. This is the original is here. Let me see if I can just keep everything on here at once. So this is the bust size. I'm gonna make the eyes a little bit shorter, a little bit more demure, I guess that's the word. That. It's skinnier. Yeah, it is. I think this is the first one I've gotten for this so far. I just realized I want to give her earrings, but I also kind of made her ears hidden. So I'm going to kind of force an ear in here. That looks decent. And I have space for earrings and other accessories. Yeah, all the accessories from last week turned out really well, like the guy with the Bluetooth. I'm going to be posting that later on. I was going to post it this week, but then work got in the way and I don't want to do it on a Friday. In real life, I don't really like to wear a lot of accessories either. Like glasses because I have to, because I have to see, but like even rings and bracelets, other than wearing a Fitbit, I just kind of want to take it off, you know? Like my fingers feel like they're being strangled by the rings. And everyone's like, you got such skinny fingers, they're so nice for wearing rings. And it's like, but it feels like death, it feels horrible. I don't want to wear them. Like they do look good. I'll admit they do look good, but they look fancy, you know, the matches, especially if you get your nails done, you put some nail polish, it looks so good. But after 5 minutes, your just fingers just feel like they're being strangled. And necklaces are a bit better because you can ignore them a little bit easier. But sometimes they'll snag onto things, and then you just feel like you're being like choked and pulled away by your own necklace. And hats, don't even get me started on hats. I lose them all the time. So for drawing characters, it depends on how large the image is. So full bodies take the longest shading takes the longest out of the whole process. This one, I think I can see, I think it tracks how much time. I've been doing this one for 40 minutes. But this is just the first lines. The ear is too high. But yeah, the more detailed ones can take up to 20, 30, 40 hours. Comics, the bane of my existence, take like, gosh, like 10 hours a page. I think that's... I want to give her one of these hair loops. Well, it's like one of those solve the murderer games, except for instead of solving for the murder, you're solving for who's the client. It's not me, by the way. I didn't commission myself. Can't afford to. There's a hair loopy. I'm not sure if this hair loopy adds or takes away from it. But I'll leave it here for now. Then I want to work on our victim. This guy here holding the sword. I'll just move. It'd be quite easy to deduce who it is. You just gotta look like this. If this looks like you, it's probably you. Now this is the very first one where he's just stepped in. It was a bit, he's just stepped in and he's about to start this. He's a bit, we can either make him hopeful, like, yeah, I'm gonna become beautiful. This isn't a scam at all. Or he could be like, what is going on? Why am I here? Why did I pay for this? So if he wants to be one, then he is very happy. He's like, oh yeah, this is great. This is best service I've purchased all day. Wants to be the prettiest girl. I mean, this character has been through some stuff. This is the third time I'm drawing this character, and I'll show you the other ones. think you'll be able to see if I drag them in here, right? So this is the last one I did for this character, where he became Ciri from The Witcher. And the one before that was like one of my favorite ones because I got to work in a style that's not my own. If I could just find it. Why am I so disorganized? And it was 2024. Here it is. This one. This is one of my all-time favorites that I've ever done. So I was working with this Scott Pilgrim style, and it took me quite a bit, but I managed to get a brush that was similar enough to the original. It took me like an hour just to make the brush. Man, this is the same guy. It looks completely different. And then now he's getting a makeover. This is one of my favorite ones. I think I still have the brush that I made. It looks like this. It's just all like jaggedy and stuff. And then, oh no, I love this one. Let's close that. And then this was fairly recent. She's got quite a big chest here. I thought that would be cute. Now busts. I wish more people would commission like style matched ones because they're really interesting and you learn so much from having to do the research in order to replicate the styles. Oh my god, the ads. Oh really? They think it's an insult? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was I think it takes like some level of skill to be able to do it. So that's why I always thought like oh, it's one thing to draw in your own style, but if you can do more than your own, then the world's your oyster. You can draw anybody pregnant in any style. And where's my music? Maybe it could be like the Death. You know Death Stranding. Have you ever played or watched that? I think if it's like an individual, so like go and copy Chairman Harris's style for me. I'd say no, go find Chairman Harris and give them the business they deserve. But if it's like, oh, draw me in the SpongeBob style, draw me in Gravity Falls style, like an IP that has a set style, then that's okay. It is. I find it a little weird. I have had that happen where someone's like, "Oh, I want this artist style. Can you copy them?" And I'm just like, "Well, yeah, I could, but I'm not going to because you really should just go find that person and have them draw it for you. Get the milk from the cow, you know?" I'd love to do a SpongeBob styled one. It's just so ridiculous. I guess like when I'm doing other styles that aren't mine, I just kind of want to try to imagine like what did these people like when they drew it, like the original artists, what were they thinking? What's their process? How do you make a SpongeBob transformation hot? Oh, you draw Mindy the Mermaid, of course. You turn the My Leg guy into Mindy the Mermaid. No, unfortunately, I'm cisgender and straight as an arrow, and I am the most vanilla person. I'm attracted to the most vanilla guys. Like I wish I was more interesting in that aspect. Like, I wish I was at least like into guys with tattoos or bald or mohawk or but I'm so vanilla. I like guys that look like Chris Pratt. It's so basic. So I was in university for music because my parents made me do music instead of art, and everyone in my year was into experimenting that way pretty much. And there were a few girls that liked me, and I did kind of consider it, but then I was like, I kind of just like regular guys, like the most basic, nothing special about them, not very colorful, not very unique looking, run of the mill men, and that kind of saddened me. So the way I do it, I'll either start with the first or the last. Here I started with the last because I had something in mind for her already. I wish I could show you something a bit better, but my files are a mess. Yeah, I'll show you. Okay, I'll do a doodle. So usually I'll start like this. Use this as an example. I'll start with the male, and I'd like to do thighs up because feet and shoes, they take a long time. And then I'll do the female. I hope it's not lagging too much on your end. My brush strokes feel kind of laggy. Then I do the female. Here's the female, breast. And then I do the middle one. It doesn't really matter which side you go, but getting these two down first kind of makes it easier. So like, for example, this one might have some boobs coming in. Posture is getting a little bit more feminine. By this part, they're mostly female. And then like the clothes and stuff. So, oh, she's ended up with bigger breasts than this one. It's okay. This one would be, let's do it like this. It's kind of like gradually. But I find if you know where you're going, before you just jump into it. It helps. I used to do tiny little drawings. I don't think I have any saved, but there'd just be like tiny little thumbnails of the before and after. The worst part of drawing multiple character transformations is like when you get to the shading bit and you realize you have to shade and color everything that you just drew. It's a great way to kind of throw off your own flow. I think everyone should just try drawing at least once because it is a lot of fun. So I've been at this for what, 6 years? You can also draw them in order, but I just like to kind of do before, after, and then middle. Well, if it gives you any hope, I didn't get to start till I was an adult. Like, I had already graduated university. I got my first job. With one of my first paychecks, I bought a tablet. Because that was pretty much the only thing I wanted at the time. Because it was simpler times. All I wanted was a tablet so that I could start learning drawing. Because up until then, it was like my parents paid for everything, and they didn't want to buy me any of that kind of stuff. Because, you know, they were on that mission to make me a piano teacher. So anything that wasn't that, they just wouldn't allow, which didn't really work out for anybody in the end. But yeah, I didn't start till I was like 22. And by then, everyone else that was my age was a lot better than me, especially if they had started earlier in their teens. His face could be a bit better. Writing is harder than drawing. Every time I sit down to write something, like let's say I want to make a comic, I should do the storyboard first. No, I should do the script first, then the storyboard. So all the writing done first, then the storyboard, and drawing comes last. But it doesn't work. I just want to get into the drawing. And then my stories are kind of like, they're not the worst, but they could be better if I planned more. Oh, the origin of my username? Okay, so way back when, back in 2021 or 22, whichever year I started the account, I was trying to think up a name. And I was just like thinking, well, I couldn't come up with a good one at all. So one of the things that kind of took off at the time is MGTOWs, before incels got to them. So before MGTOWs and incels were synonymous, I think now it's more like a Sigma male. Anyway, it's MGTOWs, the original MGTOWs, were men that would not give women the time of day because they see through all that, all the fakery. They're guys who are genuine. They don't need to be simps. And I was like, oh, that's great. I love a man that doesn't give me the time of day. The more they ignore me, the more interested I am. So, okay, maybe I'll put that there. And I was like, what about a Chad? A Chad at the time was someone who's extremely handsome. And I was thinking, oh, a man who is extremely handsome won't give me the time of day. That is the ultimate man there. And if he looks vanilla and just looks like your typical run-of-the-mill white guy, then yeah. That's all I need in life. And I told that to a friend, and they were like, that is ridiculous. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take that and make that my username then for the next thing that I do. And that just happened to be transformation art. So that's how we got here. And then, of course, incels came, and that became synonymous with incels and stuff. And I'm definitely not an incel. Yeah, ChadTow. So everyone always asks, how's ChadTow stuff going? Like people I know. And there's the origin of it. It's so funny because I don't draw super sexy men. Like I'm not into the whole ripping muscles. It's just a little bit ironic as well. My characters are usually more cute than muscular. Chad, you've been calling me ChadTow. Well, that's something else. That's like the toes of a sexy man. Something completely different. That's a different niche. A toe track. Or transformation specifically of toe tracks. Well, thanks for joining. Talk to you later. I bet you came in here expecting like a super like masculine, super low toned voice, like one of those guys whose voice is so deep it shakes the ground. Sometimes I wish I had one of those voices. It'd be easier to be intimidating. There is a book coming out about drawing muscles. I think it's like a translated one. It's like a Japanese author, but they translated it into English, and it's coming out at some point. I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna upgrade my men's muscles. Muscular men transforming into short, petite, cute girls with long hair and long nails and skirts. And then the opposite way, maybe like a really fat guy turns into like this Amazonian muscular lady and she's taller than him. I think that's something that's underutilized is height. Like my next one I'm gonna have to make the girl taller than the guy. What do you think of changing races and skin tones? I remember in the beginning I kind of avoided that a little bit because I didn't want people to like think I was a racist or something. I don't know why I thought that, but I think I was in an environment at the time that was like oversensitive because I was working with children a lot and we weren't even allowed to use words like stupid in the workplace, so I was kind of a little bit on edge with that. What do you guys think? Do you like when someone starts out one race and then turns into another? Yeah, like you don't do race changes to try to offend other people, but it's like, you know, some people will take anything and make it a race thing, like play the race card or say you're a racist. And I think at the time it was all about canceling people. So I didn't want to be canceled when I just barely got off the ground. And that's that. I have very few race changes. I thought for the longest time that like my characters were just like the same as me by default, like they're just all Asian by default. Oh, thank you. I always feel like, what if I'm not doing enough, like, not safe for work stuff? Because I see a lot of people, not just in the TF community, but just in general, when they post stuff online, they got like huge, huge breasts. Like, breast the size of watermelons and ass the size of watermelons. Like, while I like that occasionally, it's like, I don't want to do that for all my characters. I really like the fashion aspect of it, like dressing up my characters. The female more so than the male, but dressing them up. It's much more interesting to me than just giving them big assets. Thinking this would look better with his arm going up like that behind his head, showing he's kind of a little bit nervous about what he's about to go to, or if it's just better like this. I think maybe better storytelling if his arm is just up here. It's just like this. It's quite, he's like got his hand at the back of his head, like a little bit more elbow, scratching the back of his head. Like he doesn't know what he's gotten himself into, but you know, he can be optimistic. There's still a possibility that it's going to work out really well for him. And, you know, open-minded. I always get told like you don't have many followers because you're not willing to go more you know, lewdy giant tits. And then I feel kind of bad for a bit, but then I think, well, I didn't really get into this to draw giant lewdy tits. I got into this because I wanted to improve as an artist and be able to draw men and women. So yeah, it would be nice if I got more followers. It's always nice, but one step at a time, I guess. Yeah, that's definitely true. There are people like way more experienced with that stuff. And it does help, like if you're someone who is attracted to that stuff yourself, like the big tits, you just want to draw it, but unfortunately not me. I just stick to my cute girls and the vanilla guys. Okay, so what have I done? I've made it like this. Yeah, dresses are fun. Skirts and like costumes. And also like frilly things. Frilly things are so fun to draw, but they're not fun to color. They are a nightmare to color. That's why, as much as I love them, I feel like I don't do them as much as I should. It's true, they are wonderful. I think I'm overdue for one. Oh, it's been a while since I've done one. Or it's been a while since I've done anything like frilly. Sometimes it's easier to just like draw very basic clothing to get it done quicker. But okay, so here's the male. His head is slightly on the large side. I need sweat drop. Yeah, wedding dresses are really nice. Do you like the kind that are, I guess it's called a mermaid shape, where uh, it's like this, and then you have the dress, and then it's very tight at the top. Then you have some leeway for the hips, and it comes down like this, and then you have this huge flare out like that. That's probably one of my favorites. It reminded me of this fish, like the guppy fish. I don't like short wedding dresses. I don't like the kind that like stop at the knees. It would, for me, it would have to be floor length. Maybe a mermaid, maybe not. But the short ones just don't really work. There's also a nice one that has like lace, really long sleeves, longer sleeves than you'd expect. It goes all the way down to your knuckles, and then that's all lace. So it's long sleeve, but with lace. Those are also really pretty. I don't think I've ever done a bride one. Just add that to my ever-growing list of things. Right, here's the male. Give him a bit more personality, I think. Squint one eye, and then maybe it's a bit too much squinting. He looks like he's in pain. Small squint, and then a little bit more blush. Like he's a little bit shy that this has happened to him. Then the rest. that. Nervous, but oh, is it back? I think it disconnected for a second, but I think it's back now. It should be back. It says excellent connection. But then again, it said that when it crashed as well. And so busts have more detail because this is just a head and some shoulders. And the canvas is still pretty large. I find like, because my computer can't handle very large canvases on Clip Studio, that the more body that I'm showing, the less detailed it has to be able to run it. I mean, 96 gigabytes of RAM isn't enough for Clip Studio, apparently. And it doesn't use any like GPU acceleration or anything, it just uses your first CPU. Assholes. I have a computer that I built back when I was in a better financial position. My friend helped me build it because I don't know a whole lot about building computers. How do I show you the specs? But this computer should be more than capable of handling any drawing software, maybe even 3D. System, then info. Am I stupid? Why don't I see it? I can view RAM info, view processor info. I want the one that'll show me everything. I think I've got it. I don't think it, maybe. I mean, this is my specs. I bought this for... my PC doesn't have any that much personal information on it. I think I'm still called a user because that's how they set me up. I'm just a user. I don't have my Microsoft accounts connected or anything because I don't care about that. But yeah, this is what I have. This cost me quite a pretty penny. This was bought this last Christmas, I think. Yeah, it's able to play games as well. The graphics cards are like ProArt, so they're good for artwork. It's a little bit overkill. I was feeling bad for myself at the time, and I thought I wanted a treat. Oh, should I zoom in? Sorry. I don't know if you can see it. Oops. That is not what I'm trying to share. Get out of here. This. Oh, I thought I was just zoomed out too much. Yeah, it should be it's recording at 4K and then it's scaling it down, so it should be fine. Yeah, it does have 96 gigabytes of RAM. I knew I wasn't just exaggerating. Yeah, I joke that this computer can send a rocket to space or 10 rockets at the same time and still let me draw. But yeah, it's I wanted to future-proof this as well. That's why I went so hard. But yeah, this you see all these pretty specs. Clip Studio can use none of that. So even now, if I were to transform like this here, if I just drag it in, it's gonna lag. Like it can't, it just quite terrible. I'm actually the opposite kind of person. I don't like to hoard my PSDs and stuff. Before, I used to delete everything. Like once I was done with the drawing, goodbye. The files that I was working on just go straight into the trash. But then people started pirating my work, so I found that more and more I needed to prove that I was the original creator, and by doing that you use the PDF files, or the clip files or whatever, the source files. So that's why I have all that. If I had it my way, the minute I was done with these, they would be deleted. I would have such a clean hard drive, and then 300 gigabytes of Sims mods or something. Games take a lot. Like every game that comes out these days is really, really large. Oh, another reason I wanted to future-proof mine is because I knew I would have no idea how to upgrade anything. My last one was just like a run-of-the-mill Best Buy computer that lasted for 8 years. By the time it still works. My friend has it now. By the time I was pretty much done with it, it was not playing games very well anymore. I got a Steam Deck to play farming sims in bed, and also actual sims like Sims 2. And then when I want to actually play something on high settings, I'll just come onto this computer. But it's just nice to have that option there. Now, the one thing I wish I could have in my bed is the drawing tablet, but there's so many wires to connect. It's also really big. So I've tried I've tried an iPad, and then I got the new Wacom, the 11-inch tablet, the Android one. But nothing beats a giant screen. I do have a screen tablet. It is 27 inches. Well, 27 inches probably sounds like it's really big, but you get used to it, and then anything smaller feels like it's really small. But before this, I had one of those ones that didn't have a screen. It just had a USB. It was just like a black thing, and it was a rectangle, and you had a pen that connected to the rectangle, and then you just draw like that. Yeah, it has this huge power brick. It's actually bigger than the computer's power brick. It is massive. The weapon. I mean, the screened tablet. So the screen tablet that I currently have is saved up for a very, very long time. But it was so worth it, because being able to see what you're doing is much easier than kind of relying on your muscle memory. Because the other one, you kind of have to move your hand while you look at your screen, but what you're drawing on doesn't have a screen, so you have to kind of use your brain and connect the two dots. It was difficult, but you do get used to it. Mhm. I wanted to finish this the line work today, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I've gotta start getting ready for tomorrow's work. Ugh. So this is, according to the Clip Studio, it's an hour and 36 minutes to get to this stage. So I'd say that's like 2 line characters, 1 in Sketch. Probably averaging about 40 minutes per character here. Like, to get to the line work stage. I wish I could be one of those people that's like, I can guarantee that this day at this time I'm gonna be available all the time, but life's a mess. This one here. I want to stream something more complex next time, like something with very detailed clothing, like maybe a gown or something frilly. So I find those kinds of things are more interesting than just basic casual clothes or what I have been drawing. Like I want to do something super high effort. Like I'll bring you guys something super high effort at some point. Not next time, maybe. I can't guarantee it, but eventually, just something multiple steps. Just a huge effort in the drawing. Oh man, didn't even get to the third one. Okay. I think to get something really nice and high effort to a point where I can show it, I would need like maybe 15 hours to bring it to a good spot, so that it's not just going to be sketching and lining, but it can do it could be coloring or detailing. It might be on my end. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. I don't think I'm starting to lose quality because now I'm panicking. So I will leave this, and then I'm trying to do streams on Thursdays because it's one of the days that I can guarantee an on-time finish from work. Well, most of the time. Today wasn't that on time, but it was better than like yesterday where I didn't finish till maybe 8. So I'm hoping to do this more regularly on Thursdays, maybe Fridays as well, if I've got the time. But otherwise, yeah, I hope to bring some more interesting stuff next time. So today was a blank canvas. I don't know how I feel about blank canvases. I feel like they're pretty slow starts. As you can see, like this whole thing has just taken an hour and 40 minutes, and this is all we've got. So I'd like to at least get a body down, maybe. Oh, well, that's enough rambling. Have a nice night, and see you later. Bye.